beautiful people, Julianne here of Julianne Annette Art. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. If you are new, I'd love it if you consider subscribing. I'd love to have you stick around. For today's video is going to be something new, something different that I haven't done before, but I've been wanting to do kind of like a, not so much color along, but a color and chat. But this is not going to be quite so much a color and chat, but a watch me work with a new medium for the very first time and see how it goes. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes as far as how much is going to be real time, how much is going to be sped through. I'll just sort that out in editing, I suppose. But we're going to be working in Alien Worlds, and I'm going to be using oil pastels, which basically I have done one test sheet on a piece of printer paper a month ago or so, but I'm using these Art Deco oil pastels. I got them as a Christmas gift last Christmas. This is like September, so you know, nine months later. But I got them as a Christmas gift from my boyfriend's aunt, and I've been intimidated to use them because it's scary to use new medium, but I think this is the perfect page to give them a shot. So what we're going to be doing is this double page spread here. Originally my plan was to originally my plan was to I'm going to zoom you back in a little bit. I'm wondering, is my camera off center, or is it the page itself? I think it might be the camera. Anyway, originally my plan was to do oil pastel for the moon, the planet, and all this background sky, and then do colored pencil for the rocks. But once I opened the page and was about to start with the colored pencil, I realized there's way more rocks than I pictured. In my memory, it was just like a thin strip of rocks, but that's a lot of rocks. So we're going to go oil pastels for that too, I think, and just see how it goes, see what we can come up with. I haven't decided what I'm going to do to blend. Maybe for the big spots, I'll use my fingers, but I'd rather not. I might just use paper towel because I saw somebody using paper towel and that seemed to work. For the smaller ones, I will probably use one of these little tortillion things. But we'll deal with that when we get there. Also, because it's messy, I'm probably just going to start in this corner and work my way across. I'm not sure how long it's all going to take. I'm not sure how long the video will be, if I'm going to have to do it in a couple of parts maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I also have an idea. If you remember from my Mythic World, by the way, is here because it's at the front, and so I don't like it when there's a gap in between. So this is just here to hold the paper up level, like hold that part of the book up. But anyway, on the title page, I had left the ship basically white and just did the kind of iridescent reflections from the aurora, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And so I've been trying to think ever since, like, not active hard thinking, but just in the back of my mind, like, what do I want to do with the ship? But then I was thinking, you know, like, my captain's name is Captain Wild of the USS Magpie. So then I was thinking of the iridescence on the black wings of the Magpie and how they can look blue or green. So that's actually what I would like to try to do with my ship. So at some point I'm going to go back over this one, but with this page that we're doing, I'm going to do this ship in colored pencil and do that kind of black with the blue-green iridescent, kind of like the iridescence of a magpie's wings. I thought that would be cool. Maybe it'll even have bits left white and make it even more like magpie. We'll see about that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, though, because I'm going to do the entire page in oil pastel, I think, before I get to the ship. Or if not, I'm actually going to get all of this stuff done before I get to the ship. So I might still do the ship in colored pencil if this ends up being a couple days job. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have my coffee. It's still hot. It'll last a little bit. So my plan for the sky is just to make it all kind of black, but I'm wondering if I want to just like put in touches of maybe some dark blues, maybe some dark green. I'm not sure, but we'll just see how it goes. Again, haven't used oil pastels before. This is my first time. We'll see how it all goes. And you know, this page on this book has like some dirty stuff up top here and some marks here. I got it from Book Outlet, and sometimes their books are a little bit shop worn, but I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm going over it in oil pastel. So just trying to decide. I think I'm just gonna start with this part above the planet, above this line of the asteroid ring, and then we'll just go from there. I am right-handed, so I apologize about the fact that I can't it does I kind of block the picture when I color. So the one thing I do remember about the oil pastels, and I did watch a couple videos of Colored by Maya and her oil pastel tutorials, and so you know, I feel relatively prepared in the sense that I'm not really prepared. I want to leave the little halo around the planet and around the moon for a little bit of glow. This feels like a crease here. Like you can even see, I'm not sure if you can catch it, but you can see how the oil pastel is catching on it. But there's nothing on the other side of the page. So whatever the issue is, it's only on this side of it, which is kind of weird. So my plan is because I want to use the same color scheme for the whole planet. I want to have the same color scheme, right? And so I want to what am I trying to say? I want to kind of have it planned out and decided. So I have decided that my actual sky on the next page is going to be like an aqua color. which is then basically what I'm going to make this glow off of the sunny side of the planet. Oh, okay, yeah, so that's, this is our dark side. So the sun is only coming through on the sunny side, not on the dark side. So the glow will be kind of aqua, what I plan for the sky to be, and then the rocks, the moon I want to be kind of a violet color, and then the rocks, like on the planet, and on the next page I'm going to do the rocks purple. And basically our moon, they believe is part of an asteroid that hit us like however many, millions of years ago. And so that's basically what I kind of wanted to do with this, is so that the asteroid rocks will be mostly kind of violet and violet pinks, and then the same color as the moon, so that the moon and the asteroid belt are made of the same material. Because I thought that would be cool. Just want to come to the edge a little bit better here. And I think I want to come to the edge of the moon a little bit more here. And then I suppose I want kind of a violet-y glow around the moon. I don't know how people who are right-handed actually do this, because it's really hard to do it without actually just covering what I'm doing. Perhaps that should have been done after I blended the rest of it, but we'll just see how it goes. I'm just going to tear off a little piece of paper towel. And we'll just start blending and see what happens. And then we'll see if I need to go over some spots a bit more, like up in the corner. I think I'll definitely need to go over it a little bit more. So I like how the paper towel feels, but my nail is already going through it. There we go. Yeah, I can see definitely at the edges I'm going to need a little bit more of the black there. And I think I'm definitely going to need a little bit more in here. I think definitely the blue just kind of got lost in there. You don't even really see it. But that's okay. Maybe I'll go over after a little bit more. Or maybe I needed a little bit more. Not sure. I know Colored by Maya uses the Liquitex Golden... what is that? Satin glaze for her, for fixing it, but I don't have that. So I'm just going to be using the Krylon spray fixative for it. Okay, well, definitely need to be aware of maybe rubbing some off with the paper towel as well. And then let's see about going over it a little bit with some blue. And then maybe a little bit of a turquoise too. I'm not sure that the paper towel is the best method for it. No, paper towel is definitely not the best method. I think it's going to have to be fingers. I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, but there are some places where the paper towel actually kind of rubbed it back off and they look a little bit patchy. So that's what I'm going back over, just trying to fill those spots in. So then the question is, like, for this, is this still better to go with my finger? It was just like a little piece of black that just kind of peeled off. This feels like it almost scrapes it, but it does get it right into the corner there, or right into the edge of the moon. But I kind of want it a little bit lighter than that. How about adding a little touch of some yellow? I mean, like I said, I'm just kind of going to town and seeing what works. I don't have a plan other than my loose plan of the colors that I want. So this is all just experimenting. And again, I've never used oil pastels before, so I'm learning as I go, and you can learn with me. So I kind of like how that's looking. Let's get a clean finger and try to smooth it out a little bit more. It definitely peels in some parts, which I'm not sure if that's just this brand. I suspect it could be. You know what I don't have is sandpaper for sorting out my little tortillion, you know, for getting the color off of it. Oh, but what I do have is a nail file. Okay, well now I feel like I've kind of lost a little bit of my glow there. There might be a limit to how much these guys layer as well. There we go. I'm liking that now. I feel like the moon has the same light side, dark side as the planet does. So like the sun of this planet is going to be off on this side over here, and you can see that the lightness of the moon matches the planet. Here's one of those little mouse poops of the pastel that peeled. So basically, I think I want it to be brighter on this side of the planet, of the moon, the same as the planet. So that's why I'm going in with more white over here. In hindsight, it might have been better to try to do the light part before the black. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, it really does peel. Let me know in the comments if you have used oil pastels, if you have used these Art Deco oil pastels. Is it just these that peel? Is it oil pastels in general? Is it just because these are a bit more of a budget brand? Is it something I'm doing wrong that's making it peel, or any other variation, basically? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. So let's just start doing some purpley splodges for the moon. I want to try to pay attention to the light and dark half again, you know? So I'm wondering, like, is there just a perfect happy medium of having enough on and without crossing a certain line of having too much on? That's what I'm wondering. I'm going to do a couple little spots over here with the violet. But I'm going to actually make this entire side basically all the lavender. And then maybe a little bit of white in there. And fill in the spots with the dark violet, because I think I know now that I need I need enough coverage. I feel like I need a hand wipe here for just continuous cleaning my hands. And here, like, I kind of want to keep the light and the dark separate from each other, so I don't really want to just smear it all together. But it's kind of hard not to, isn't it? The peeling is definitely a thing. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm using too much because it needs to cover, and if I'm using less, then it wasn't covering. So I'm not quite certain what the answer is there. So I think I'm going to have to pause it and actually wash my hands for a second. Okay, do you know what I think would actually be perfect? Is, you know those little finger cuts when you work in a restaurant and you cut your finger and you have to put those little finger cuts on to protect the food? I think one of those would be perfect, or a pack of those so that you could just put on your finger cot and do your blending and then have it for the different colors. You know what I mean? So let's do, I think, this color here. Now, when we look at the earth, you know, smart me would have checked this out before doing this and would have known what I was going to do. But cowboy me is just going for it. When we look at the earth, does this go brighter? Is it lighter as it moves away? Or does it go darker as it moves away? I feel like it should go darker because then it kind of will blend out into the black. And okay, now I think what I want to do is just blend the light green together and then blend the light green out into the darker green. And the black is insidious. It gets in from everywhere. It's definitely a spot here that feels like the two greens aren't getting together. See here? Okay, well, I like how that's looking. There's a little bit of a black dot because the black wants to creep in everywhere, but that may be a little bit inescapable. I'm afraid to try to... Can I get it out? Maybe. I do notice it's so akin to the peeling. It kind of wants to be a little bit streaky there. So my next plan, excuse my chair creaking, like I said, I want the moon and the asteroids to match, to be the kind of purpley colors, violets. And so when I visualize the planet, I'm kind of going with the same plans for, not the same plans, but like how things are on Earth, like how the sky is blue and then the water looks blue. So I kind of want to do the same thing, that if the sky is this, you know, kind of light teal aqua color, then I want the waters to look pretty much the same. So I'll go in with just a little bit of a deeper aqua color for the water. And then, you know, like the grass and the trees and most of the lush stuff is green, which is next to blue on the color wheel. So I'm thinking of going with a different color, but that's like kind of next to teal on the color wheel. Although I think yellow green looks kind of yuck with teal. Although I have seen somebody did it. Who did? I want to say maybe Color with Claire, or maybe M's Coloring Creations, did a blue. I'm sorry, I have to chat while I think about what I'm doing next. They did a blue. No, they did a portrait that had, I think it was Color with Claire, that had a teal and a really yellow green, and I would never have thought to put those colors together, and it looked absolutely beautiful. But at the same time, I don't want to do what is normal. I don't want anything to look like earthy colors. So I think what I'm thinking for the flora, like the plants and stuff, is to use a lot of blues. Which would so apparently my phone was out of storage and stopped recording, and I had no idea. So I'm glad I caught it when I did. I was just yammering and yammering, and yeah, it hadn't been recording the whole time that I did all of this black here. So most of my yammering was just yammering, but a couple points that I did notice was that this went quite easily with just my fingers and came up quite close to the edge of the planet. And more chatting about the peeling, because I noticed I did have to like go back over and color more in because I hadn't put down enough of the black here. And then it, so yeah, I think it's just, you know, they are a more budget set of pastels. So I do believe that's why it's peeling. But I'm not really concerned about that because, it's good to practice on a, what am I trying to say? It's good to practice with a more budget set. I don't want to be, if I had an expensive set, I would be afraid to practice and experiment. So it's good to have a budget set. What I'm doing here, as you can see, is I'm just scraping a little bit of it off to fill the white space in the crease. Scraping it with a little tortillon. And this works wonderfully well to fill in that that white space in the crease. Yeah, so I think I had been talking about my color plans for the flora of the planet. Because when you look at the Earth from a distance, it is it looks green and blue because the water looks blue, and because all of our trees, which cover so much of the planet, are green, and so that's why it looks green from the aerial view. So I'm kind of thinking of what color do I want my trees to be, to know what color to make them, to make the earthy part of the planet there. And I was saying that I kind of wanted to be something next to this tealy color on the color wheel. But if we go equidistant from blue and green, then that gives us like yellow-green, which does not, well, A, it doesn't appeal to me, but B, I don't want to make green plant life on this lush paradise because it's just too similar to our plant life on Earth, and I want it to be quite different. So, what am I thinking? I'm thinking potentially blue, but I'm kind of leaning towards pink. Like, what would pink plants and trees look like? And then my planet would look very pink and teal, with this violet moon and violet asteroid belt. Because on the next page here, I did start coloring my moon, and you can see the asteroid belt in the distance. And so I was thinking of maybe the actual rocks being violet as well, because that just, the continuity, right? And so maybe playing with variations of pink and blue. Like, certainly we have red and green plants. Like, we know we have green plants, but we have a lot of red and pink plants. So maybe I go with pink. Maybe this is pink and teal. I think that's what we're going with. Okay, so I have black on my fingers. Do I need to wash it off again? I was going to go with pinky color for the stardust in the asteroid belt, but if my planet is going to be very pink, maybe I want a more blue leaning color for my asteroid belt dust, maybe like ultramarine. That would be cool. So I don't know. Let's start with what I do know. Let's do this part. And then does the glow happen here? Or is it the dust, because it kind of goes in front? I think I'll let the glow overlap a little bit to here. And then I think we'll make it the dust. Let's go with a clean finger. Looks like I'm going to be doing lots of going to wash my hands in between. I do feel like this color is a little bit more streaky than the black, this light color. Like it's letting a little bit more of the white show through. Maybe it just needs a little bit more. Not overly concerned about going over. Seems pretty easy to remove, and it seems pretty opaque for the most part, so I think it'll be okay to cover where I do go over. There. I don't know if that's any better. Look, I got another one of those little streaks. I think I just have to accept the streaks. I don't think I'm going to be able to not have any. So I think it just is what it is. We're going to go do another hand wash. And then carry on with maybe the planet or maybe this part of the asteroid belt. Okay, so we have hands clean, coffee warmed up, and I just realized that I didn't, here I had gone over with a little bit of blue and green to give a little bit more depth to the black. And I haven't done that here, but now that I have clean hands, I'm not going to. I'll do it after I get dirty hands again. Just realized I had this part out of the frame, but I don't think that's a big deal. You can see it mostly. I also got a little bit clever. I don't have sandpaper for my tortillon, but I have nail files for doing nails. So I think maybe I can get rid of the black a little bit with this thing. This seems to work. Oh, okay. Hot tip: don't do it over the page that you're using. So it kind of works. Maybe it's a little bit coarse. It's making it pretty. Well, I mean, no, that'll work though, right? Because I do find that the tortillon is good for getting the color right up to the edges, and maybe also for scraping it off a little bit where you don't want it. So I think next we're going to do the planet. So we've decided the water is going to be teal. And the land is going to be pink. So I don't have a lot of pinks to choose from here. I have this pink. I have this magenta. Then I have this fuchsia that looks very dusty, and I think that will be good for using in the dark area. The magenta might go a little bit both, and then I might just add some white into the light area to help create a little bit of depth. But what we might do what we might do is just kind of go in with the pink and then blend it, and then go back and add a little bit of texture with the white and the magenta. Maybe, except for the bigger spots like this, maybe we'll just do the magenta straight in. And let's see how that works. We might actually, yeah, we'll see how opaque the, how opaque the pink ends up being. Oh, that should have been water. Oh, well, it's land now. Maybe there's some parts that should be lakes, but we're just going with what is easiest. I think maybe this part we'll leave as a lake. And then I think we'll need the tortillon for coming right up to these edges. I wonder if I could just scrape that off with my nail. Not so much. I think for little spots like this that are really skinny, I'm going to use that same trick that I used in the corner of the page, or the seam, the join of the two pages, where I just put a little bit of the color on the tortillon and applied it directly. Because I suspect that might be a little bit easier to get in the really, really skinny places. I knew from the get-go when I was coming up with the color scheme for this planet that I wanted it to have like an Avatar-esque vibe to it. So, you know, like the really glowy bioluminescent kind of jungle feeling in there. That's kind of what I wanted to be able to achieve. So I think this color plan actually works out quite well for what I wanted to achieve. Hopefully I have enough pink colored pencils to make a diversity in color on my coming pages. But like I said, in real life we have green trees, and even though the green is the dominant color that you see from the kind of overhead, doesn't mean that green is the only color. of our plant life. We have all sorts of red, red and pink and lovely colored plants. In fact, I have this plant here. This, can you see these beautiful leaves here? It is a sad plant. It is an aglaonema, which is also called I think it's called a Chinese evergreen. And it used to be beautiful and bushy, and then it just got miserable and started dropping all of its leaves. And then it had one leaf left, and I didn't want to get rid of it. And then all of a sudden it grew another leaf. And so now it's decided to come back to life. So I'm glad I didn't get rid of it. But those pink leaves can be inspiration for some of this. I'm thinking I might have to do a little bit more. More pink. The pink definitely is not very opaque. Ooh, you know what I could do? For the for these lines that might be rivers, maybe I'll take a teal paint pen and kind of go over those lines and make the little rivers, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. Let me know in the comments if you want to see the rest of this page as a color along. Do you want me to finish it on camera with you guys? Do you want to see how I complete it? Do you want to see how I do the ship in colored pencil? Let me know. It won't be like a proper color along where I show you everything that I'm using. Like, I'll show you what I'm using, but it'll be a bit more of a color and chat and a here's how I'm doing it kind of thing. Because that just feels a little bit more natural for me. Because I'm not really used to this whole coloring on camera thing yet. I think we need a little bit of this one over here just for a little definition. Sorry about my arm going across, but the way that my camera is set up, the little, I have a light, the round light ring, and the camera holder is all one piece, and it attaches to this side of my desk, and it only has so much reach. And I need my coffee to be on that side of the desk. Therefore, my supplies don't have any room over on that side of the desk. So they have to be on my left side, and being right-handed, I just have to reach across for them. Because I can't not have my coffee beside me. Yeah, there's definitely less opaqueness to the lighter colors, but that's okay. And I think that's just kind of to be expected a lot of times, right? But, you know, like, it's pretty easy to just go back in and add a little bit more. And I was a little bit worried that just like when I tried doing it on the black and I added in the blue on the same place as the black, that it just kind of, the black just took it over and you couldn't see the blue anymore. But that is not the case here. The magenta is definitely holding its own, and not getting lost in it. So that's good. I think I'm going to use the Tortillion to just, this one's pretty, it's pretty mangled now that I've filed it. But I want to use the Tortillion to get kind of closer to the edges, without going too much over. Like I think here, a lot of the water, I went way over here, but I'm not going to be too worried about it. If there's lines that are obvious that I went like over the line, I'll just make it a river or something. It's really hard not to stick my fingers in the black that's already there. The dogs have woken up and I hear little clicks on the floor and little play with me scrambles, so they might get noisy in a minute. Hello, darling. I just got nosed. Don't do it. The one dog likes to jump on me when I'm sitting here, and it really scares me because I feel like one day she's gonna bump my arm when I'm doing something, or and make like a an irreparable mistake kind of thing that kind of ruins the page. But I'm sure anything she does I could work with, so I'm not actually overly worried about it, but it is definitely it is definitely a concern that I have. I'm actually really pleased with this idea of just using the Tortillion to apply the color directly. It really does a good job of just following the line that I want it to. I think it might get tedious, but I could potentially do that for the small asteroids in the asteroid belt too. Like it's not needlepoint precision, but I think it's pretty darn good. I think Maya said that she uses just colored pencil for the kind of close-up details like that, but I kind of want to just see what I can do, how much I can do with just the just the pastels. Okay, so that is the light half. Let us move on to the dark half. Dogs are doing some growls. They like to engage each other with play. I'm wondering if I might put in just a touch of black on the darkest shadows. Just to just to add to the depth, and then I'll blend it in with the pink one after too. Okay, and then we're using this fuchsia that is very dusty. And we'll put that in all of our shadowy spots. Actually, you know what I think? I think I might just do the fuchsia in the whole thing and just blend it in with black in the shadows. Because when you think about seeing Earth from above, it's, you know, the dark half isn't necessarily so visible. So I don't want it to be like magenta bright. So yeah, maybe we'll just keep it all real shadowy. We'll see how it goes anyway, right? So just an experiment. Okay, we'll start with that and we'll go from there. Maybe I would add a sepia or something. Also, maybe I'll fill in all the light areas first so that it doesn't pick up and travel all the black. Also looks like there's like clouds here. I'm just going over those. Maybe we'll add back in clouds, but maybe we won't. Mostly because I don't know how I would do that. I might do it with what's it called? Acrylic paint. You know, now that I'm coloring all of this, I feel like I would have rather tried to leave some of this separate because it feels like too much contiguous landmass. But maybe it is a planet that doesn't have an ocean. Maybe it only has lakes. Maybe everything is almost continuous landmass and no like no independent continents kind of thing, except for the few little islands. Because it's not bound by Earth rules, is it? Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this little spot as a lake if I can remember, and these little spots as lakes if I can remember. And then this, yeah, all water. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let us get to some blending. Again, with the opacity, some spots are quite clear, quite opaque, and then other spots are quite transparent. Probably a little bit of application error since it's my very first time trying it. But I think I will have to go over some of those spots again. Like, I don't know how well you can see it because the holder is actually right in the way here. But it is quite a transparent spot there. But that's okay. We can go back over it with a little bit more of the pastel. I do like my idea of just blending the black in with it. I think that worked out quite well. As opposed to just trying to use two different colors. I like that idea a lot, but let's just... Yeah, I mean, some of it's very opaque already, but I think with the pink you could get away with it a little bit more because it's so light. But with this one, it's quite noticeable that it's so transparent. I see a black streak here that... I'm not sure what the limit is for the paper either. Like, is there a point where it won't take anymore, where that's when it peels? Because it looks like it needs an amount to be able to give it the kind of coverage. And then here, like I'm going over it, and it just seems to kind of rub it off the space and rub it back out. I don't know. Let's go in with a sepia and give a little bit of definition here. See, it's like I'm actually rubbing off more where I'm going back in with it more. I wonder if that has to do with too much stuff on my finger. Maybe I need to clean that off. In the meantime, though, I'm going to get a little bit of this extra off of the tortillon. And we're going to just apply to the, what's it called? Like the coastline. This color in particular is definitely proving to be a bit more difficult because, like I said, with the light pink, the opacity isn't such an issue because it's pale, and so it's not such a contrast when the white shows through. But with this one being such a deep color, it's quite noticeable when the white shines through it. Yeah, this color definitely has the most issues with just even coverage. That in some spots it really builds up, and then in other spots it's just really transparent. And I'm not sure. Like I said, being my first time, I have no idea what's user error and what's just, you know, the nature of the quality of it. Ooh, that's also something to note, is because it is still sticky, I've got like paper towel lint and stuff from doing this filing in my black. So I'm probably going to have to go back over it. Maybe with the black again, or I might not worry about it because I wanted to do kind of stars in the background, so maybe it'll just be space dust. And I was going to go back over it with a little bit of blues and greens like there anyway, so maybe I'll just leave it. Okay, time for the water. I'm going to use the same turquoise green that I used as the sky, but I'm also going to use this very light aqua blue as the bulk of it. And, well, on the sunny side, I will. And then on the dark side, I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it. I might mix one of the darker greens with like the Prussian blue or something like that to achieve the deeper teal that I want. I haven't quite decided. Because there's, if you look here, this is the aqua blue that I just used. This is the turquoise green from the outline here. And then this viridian is what I used to join the turquoise green and the black. And then this dark turquoise is what I added to the sky. But really that is it for kind of tealy colors. So there's nothing really dark. So I might mix the dark turquoise with the Prussian blue. Or maybe the viridian with Prussian blue in the darker spot. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to use a little bit of dark turquoise just in a couple spaces where he has extra shading. going to go in with the turquoise green. Okay, we'll go with that. Start with a clean finger, and then we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then I'm doing my scraping my tortillon further off camera so that I'm not getting more lint on my page. Although I think I still just did. Maybe this is too coarse. Maybe I need a finer file for it. I'm not sure how well this is going to set. Like I said, I know Maya uses the satin glazing liquid, but I don't have that. I live in a really small town that is not technically even a town. It is an unincorporated. And so we don't actually have any stores that you can get stuff at. And we don't even have, like, you know, you guys in big cities get Amazon deliveries any day of the week. Amazon always takes a week to deliver to us and is only carried by our postal system. Everything, like, there is an art store that's in the nearest town, but even they are quite marked up because they have quite a monopoly. They're the only place within like an hour and a half. And so it's quite expensive. And like Michael's has the satin glazing liquid for so much cheaper than the local stores or than Amazon, I mean, and the local stores, but it's so much cheaper than Amazon that I just can't bear to pay Amazon prices for it. So, yeah. So I think I'm going to go in with this kind of all over. This is the dark turquoise. And then maybe I'll go in with the Viridian, like closer to the edges. And then also the Prussian blue. Yeah, the Viridian is definitely darker than this one. I have a swatch sheet, but you know, why would we look at the swatch sheet when we can just go cowboy? As in like just going rogue. Okay, and a little bit of Prussian. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I think I might need to give my fingers a wipe. Okay, on to rubbing out or blending in this pastel. I think that is too light. Maybe we actually want some more of the Prussian blue just kind of throughout it, hey? I wonder how a Q-tip would work instead of the tortillon, since the tortillon is kind of falling apart. I think I need what's a finer grit for my sandpaper for my file. But I don't have a finer grit down here. I have, I think, a buffer, and I don't think a buffer is going to be enough. So, but I might have some Q-tips here. I keep finding little black bits everywhere. Like from, I guess, the peely bits, that it was one that was kind of invisible. And then when I go to blow the bits off, then a bit shows up in the wrong place. I'm going to give a Q-tip a shot if I have a Q-tip here. No. There we go. Almost. Almost there. Almost there. Sorry, guys. That's another tortillon, but it's bigger, and it's also got some linty stuff on it. Okay, here's some Q-tips. Let's see if that... No, that just rubs it completely off. Yeah, that's no good. Okay, let's go for another tortillon. I think I might need to do a little bit of back and forth with because I see this little lake now, the green has gone quite over. So I might have to go a little back and forth with the fuchsia and the teal to get it in the right place. Not that I need to follow the lines completely, but if I do go over the lines, I just don't want them visible. I want the new lines to look precise. Not just a blendy, blotchy blur. I am liking how this is looking. I do like the addition of the blue to it, the Prussian blue. I think that was a good choice. I'm also seeing some areas where I really need to bring the the pink back to the edges kind of thing. Like this little lake here, it doesn't really follow the lines, but it's okay because it looks opaque around it. For whatever reason, it's just quite clear. I didn't fill in the pink around that one very well, so. And I think it's okay actually at the bottom because I want to kind of overlap it with the Stardust there. You know, the Stardust that will float in the asteroid belt. Because these asteroids go over top of it, so I kind of want to do a little bit of a wash of the Stardust color that the asteroid belt is within. Okay, so let's do a little bit more of that right there and around this and up to the edge here and up to the edge here. And then right there and right here and in here. And let's just take off the lint here. I'm just going to use this other one for the so basically I'm just kind of touching up where the fuchsia needs to be and doesn't quite meet up. I'm just filling in those gaps a little bit. I'm using a separate tortillon. Unfortunately, it's a little bit big, but that's okay. I think it's better to use a bigger one than have to be filing it down constantly and turning it into pulp. I'll have to get one of those proper sanding boards for the tortillons, but in the meantime, I'm just using what I have. So basically my goal here is just to not have any of these white spaces showing where the green and the fuchsia are meeting. You know, I wanted it a crisp line, but I might just have to give up on that and let it be a little touch blurry, just to make sure that it's actually that doesn't look bad anyway. Yeah, I like that look. I like that look. Because it just kind of gives it a little bit of shadow anyway. Just gonna have to somehow remove these little peely bits. Okay, so just need a little bit more up here. And then we're going to go back over with a little bit of the light pink here to lighten up that. And how is that? I'm going to need to figure out how to get rid of all these little peely bits. Again, anybody who uses so anybody who uses these oil pastels, or just oil pastels in general, please tell me, is this peeling thing normal? Like all these little it's like it pills, you know? And I feel the need to get rid of these pills before I fix it. But maybe if I fix it, I could just flick them off easier once the rest of it's set. So yeah, please tell me in the comments if you have experience with oil pastels. Is this a normal thing? And should I fix it before or after trying to get rid of these things? So I think we're going to carry on. This is going to be a very long video, and I'm probably going to just make it 2 videos maybe. But we'll see how much. I am going to fast forward a whole lot of the coloring stuff, so. Or not fast forward, but speed up. You know what I mean? Okay, so. I think we want to go in right up to the asteroids with the Prussian blue. I never ever realized before that there actually is page numbers. It says 8 and 9 here. I have never recognized the page numbers before on these books. That's so funny. Well, that's good to know, isn't it? So I'm going in with the Prussian blue to begin kind of that stardust in the asteroid belt. I'm taking it in a little bit. And then I think I will have a different color of blue going in further into the belt. I think we're going to lose some of these smaller asteroids. That's okay. I might, if I feel like I've lost too many of the teeny tinies, I might just dot in a few with the purple paint pen after the fact. Also, I think when the camera cut out earlier, when I ran out of space, I had been coloring this and saying that I kind of wanted it to not just be a smooth belt. I kind of wanted the colors to come in a little bit unevenly, you know, where the black comes in a little bit, and then this Prussian blue will come in a little bit more in certain spaces and not be just a straight line. Yeah, I think I'm going to come in with a paint pen and fill in some of those little dots. Okay. So that's Prussian blue. Do we want to go ultramarine? So I'm not worrying about going over these small rocks because I'll just put them back in after with a paint pen. I have a violet paint pen, and I'm thinking I might do like some of the bigger ones a little bit violet, and then see if I can shade them just a touch. And then some of the smaller ones I just might put back in like little black shapes. So that's why I'm not too concerned if I cover some up. Not that I'm deliberately covering them up, but it's not exactly a fine pointed instrument here. So I also haven't decided. I might keep this blue up until about this point here, and then go in with even a slightly brighter one. But we'll see. I might keep this blue in the whole way, but blend out kind of make streaks, or just, you know, like spots, kind of how I did with the water here, of a darker, like I might streak in maybe some of the Prussian in some spots here to still make it look like it gets brighter as it gets denser. But we'll see. What I did learn is that it kind of blends. I think it's better to smooth it out first, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get it down. I'll get it down to fill in this open part, and then we'll see about changing colors or not. There is this lightened aura around the spaceship here, which I haven't decided what I want to do with that just yet. Like, do I just want to make it a lighter blue? Do I want to make it a lighter color of the asteroid belt? Or do I want to make it like a different thing? Or should I just color it basically the same? I'm also not worried about going over the lines of the asteroids themselves, because just like the water here, it actually ended up looking really good where there was a little bit of overlap. So I feel like it's going to be the same situation with the purple here, or the violet. This finer part I might end up filling in with colored pencil, is my thoughts. Okay, so the question is, do I want to keep on going with this color? I could brighten it up with this blue color here. No, I think I'm gonna just keep going with this, and then I'll just streak in some of the Prussian to bring it up. I'm definitely going to lose the smaller ones, but like I said, I'll just put them back in after with some paint pen. I think if it's too small for me to color in with the purple or violet pastel, then it's probably too small for, there's no point in trying to keep it open. Also, I think I get into that crack. Like that's what I'm with just using Brilliant. I can definitely see all of the ones that I color over quite well still. So I think it'll be easy enough to go back over them with the paint pen later. Okay, sorry if I knocked the table. I just want to move it over a little bit. There's all these little gouges. I don't know if you can see them, but little gouges from my fingernail as I color. So here we have the exhaust from the ship, and I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that either. I think I might try to do it with acrylic paint after. So I think I'm just going to kind of fill in. I think I'm just going to fill in behind it. and go over it with acrylic paint. As I'm doing all these really small, tight bits here, I'm thinking it's going to be near impossible to try to do pastel on all these small bits. So I might try pastel on a bigger asteroid and see how it goes, or I might just do them in colored pencil. I'm not sure yet, to be honest. But in the meantime, let's get to blending this out. You know, like I'm pushing on this with my pinky finger, and you can see some comes off, but it's actually set fairly well. There's a bit of a black spot there, but like it doesn't just rub right off, so that's good. I was a little bit worried about that. I think rubbing it, trying to blend this lighter part is going to be a little bit harder, because it's going to be really hard not to blend it right over the it's going to be hard to blend it, not to blend it right over the rocks themselves. So I think we're just going to use the little tortillon and see how we do with it. And this ultramarine color seems to be afflicted by the same issue as the fuchsia, in that it is not very opaque for how deep the color is. So it's quite noticeable, but I think that'll be okay. I think it'll be okay once all the white is taken out. And I'm thinking that I'd like to go over the asteroid belt with sparkle, because I want Stardust to be sparkly. Also, I've decided I'm taking all of this pulp peely stuff that's coming off and just taking it over and rubbing into the crease. Yeah, I'm thinking if I go over this with the Folk Art Extreme Glitter, then that will hide it. Ooh, you know what would be better? I don't have it, but maybe I could get some before I call this page complete. Is the Folk Art Dragonfly Glaze. you know, the iridescent ones that shift from one color to another, like maybe one of the red violet would look good. Something that has kind of like a blue purple shift, since the asteroids themselves are going to be violet, and then the stardust is blue. I think that would look really cool with the blue purple shift over it. So maybe I'll see about getting one of them from Walmart before in the next little bit, next time I go. So, in hindsight, this would have been easier to do with like acrylic paint or something. But, I mean, I'm kind of committed now, aren't I? But the pressure that I'm using with the tortillon is a little bit less than burnishing, which is definitely more pressure than I wanted to be using. I was hoping that this would be gentler on my hand, and not really. But I think that's a little bit what I get for trying to do such a tiny spacing. I think I knew better than doing that with the oil pastel. Just really didn't want to do the whole thing with colored pencil, but I think in hindsight, acrylic paint might have been the way to go. Still, like the precise fine fine detail getting in the small spaces, but I think it would have been a little bit gentler on my hand than what I'm doing right now. I think I'm actually wearing the paper away here. But can I do it with lighter pressure? Yeah, I suppose I could use a little bit lighter pressure and it still does the job. I'm also wondering, like, on some of these ones where I've gone over, will a colored pencil go over that amount of pastel? Or am I relegated to acrylic paint? I think we'll finish going with this because you're going to be watching it in extra fast time anyway. And then when we're done, we'll give it a test with some colored pencil. I will say that even though this is kind of cramping my hand a little bit, it's still fast. Mind you, it's fast because there's zero precision. Okay, let's just give a test and see if colored pencil is going to go over these ones that are quite covered up. Yeah, I think it'll be okay, actually. So I think we're going to fill in the gaps in here with colored pencil to get the finer details. And we're going to just trying to get the little bits. We're going to fill in the gaps with colored pencil. And here, we're going to probably do these asteroids in colored pencil because it needs a bit more. Looking at this, like, there's texture in the light pink side. There's less texture in the dark side. I'm not sure how much texture I'm going to be able to build even. Okay, well, I like how that's looking. I like how it's giving it a little bit more definition. I feel like a little bit of the key here is not pulling too hard on it, actually. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for this video. Let's get the whole page back into frame. Can you see the whole thing? Not quite, just... there we go. So that's what we have with our oil pastels. I'll probably carry along with you guys and continue doing the rest in colored pencil. And then also a little bit of acrylic paint once the pencil's in. But that's what we have so far, and let's see where it goes. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. And have a great day. Be kind to yourselves out there. Bye-bye.